Out of the 10 normal cats, it's easy to say that the fish cat and its variants are some of the best. Of course, there's the dragon cats and wild cats, but the fish cat are special units because they're all, for the most part, successful and strong melee cats with great survivability due to the 3 knockbacks. A thing that's rarely seen in this game because the amount of damage cats begin taking as the game goes on. So today, I feel like talking about and comparing each of the fish cat's variants to see which one is the best. Little Island Cat is a pretty interesting unit. His horns before his last are completely pointless like his counterparts, so don't even bother with them. But the reason why I find this unit interesting in the first place is because of his talents and because he's exactly what you'd expect a little cat to be. A generally weaker, although more gimmicky version of their normal counterpart. Once talented, he gets a 20% wave chance and is strong against Aku. First of all, the wave chance can really help him clear out peons thanks to his relatively strong damage. Plus, it basically gives him a piercing area attack, which is something he doesn't naturally have. It reminds me a lot of Pizza Cat's Waves talent due to their similar usage and also how similar their range is. But what really interests me is his anti-Aku talent. This can help you in that niche as currently there aren't many units that are made to counter them yet, at least for me. And despite Aku enemies mostly having very high damage, I can still see this Island Cat variant helping a lot when fighting range Aku units, so he can get in there, dash out some damage, kill the peons, assuming that their scaling isn't insane. Overall, certainly not a bad cat. Of course, I have to talk about the original island, a very solid unit that is absolutely worth its cost, thanks to his very good HP and damage. He is strong against red naturally like all other islands, but he's so good that he can be used effectively as a generalist as well. Normal Island excels at fighting mid-level peons, slowly clearing weak peons or even absorbing some damage from bosses when it comes down to it. His 30 knockbacks make sure that he stays out on the field for a while, and Island being pushed back kind of allows the backliners to hit and possibly kill the enemy that he was fighting, giving him another chance to come in and finish off whoever is left. Of course, this also has the downside of making him a less dependable tanker for backliners if that's what you're doing, but this doesn't change the fact that Island has good survivability and will most likely live for a while when on the right stages. Also has single targets, but unlike his little variant, he doesn't have any waves to try and negate this. One strange quirk of all the island variants that I haven't mentioned yet is a low crit chance. Normal and Manic Island have a 2% crit chance, while Little Island has a 5% crit chance. And because of these insanely low crit chances, none of them would be at all effective against metals due to their attack rates and again, their insanely low crit chances. Even though each of these variants could easily destroy basically any metal enemy in one hit if they got a crit, this could feasibly never ever happen. But in normal intended usage, whenever it does happen, it just kinda helps out a little bit with DPS. It's kinda like Dancer's Surge in that way. It's just a sorta nice thing that can happen occasionally. Manic Island is pretty much the original Island Cat, except with better scaling, making it so that he gets even more powerful than the original Island way quicker, which can help majorly if you get him earlier in the game. As for me personally, he helped me speed by into the future easily. His cost is also lower at 735C as opposed to the standard 1200C fish price. And he's even faster, which helps a lot because this cat works way better when he's quick. Other than those things that I've already mentioned, Maniac Island is pretty much Fish Cat except cheaper and quicker. Little Island, and Maniac Island are all great cats, but some are better than others generally. First of all, we need to talk about Little Island. If we're going by mid-game standards, which is probably what most people watching this are in, actually getting Little Island's talents max is incredibly time consuming and takes a lot of NP to do, especially because of their odd talent costs, as buffing talents cost 10 NP. That's the same as super rares and purchasable specials, and to me, their pricing isn't fair for the vast majority of Littles, including Little Island and disincluding Little Dragon, due to them being weaker versions of normals that are harder to level up. Although, later in the game, if you're willing to grind NP and plus levels for Little Island, he becomes easily the best as his stats will become compatible to both Island and Maniac. Plus, he even gets a 20% wave chance and strong against Aku. But most people probably won't do that when there are so many other units you can heavily invest in, like Ubers or Dancer, Cameraman Cat, Little Dragon, Pizza, and etc. So even with the endgame, I'm still going to put him at the bottom because of the investment that you have to. That leaves the original Island and Manic Island. Craig's Fist or Manic Island, once you get him, is most definitely better than Island thanks to his lower cost, higher speed, and easier leveling up process and quicker scaling. Even if we go by endgame standards, when your islands are both maxed, Manic is still faster and a good bit cheaper than his counterparts, and even when accounting for Little Island's talents like the 20% wave up chance and strong against Aku, I still think that in just about all parts of the game, Manic Island is the best. Join my Discord server if you want to talk about battle cats, and that was my video about the island family. Unlike my previous videos, it isn't explaining why I think this cat is good or bad, but instead it's more so comparing the 3 different variants to see definitively which one is better, since everybody knows that the island variants are all pretty solid cats. But hey, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you disagree, then leave why you do in the comments, and I'll probably see you on whatever I post next. Have a good day.